All right, good morning, y'all. I am headed to go do one of my recovery days, and I have just been inside a lot more than I would like to be. So I'm getting outside. I'm going to just a really nice grassy area by where I live, and we are going to just hit a full rehab and rest day. So on my rest days, I tend to do a lot of rehab work. Stability, mobility, and that type of stuff. If you know me, you know I am a huge advocate for not just being a couch potato on your rest days. Yes, it's a day off from the gym, but that does not mean you have to be completely sedentary. Obviously, don't go do something like extremely strenuous, but today is a day for recovering, just making your body feel good. Movement is okay. Just keep it really simple and plan out your rest days. I have done this with multiple clients, and I find that it helps so much with just, hey, I want to get something done but not sure what to do. I'll put like a full body mobility, or if they need to do ankle stuff, we will dedicate a day to whatever specific mobility and stability work they need to do. So I will show you what I am doing right now. It'll be mainly just honestly mobility, and then recovery, then just stuff I want to do that makes my body move. It's either usually like I'll walk around the park, or I'll do skills type practice or that type of stuff, but I do like to keep my body moving, just get that blood flow going even on my rest days. Or it will be like a walk on the treadmill or like a long hike. Nothing too strenuous, again, like I said, but I do want to just keep my body moving and blood flowing and get some movement on my rest days. So let's go ahead and go. Okay, y'all, oh my gosh, my voice. I just got to the park, and it is a bit cloudier than I expected, but that's fine. I'm literally just gonna be in the grass the whole time, so that is totally fine. But hey, don't have the most time today, so this is gonna be like maybe 45 minutes to an hour tops, minus cardio, because I always do some form of cardio. But let's get started. All right, so staples in my recovery are stuff from Toe Spacers. Y'all already know I've been using this brand for years. I love doing them, especially with mobility or recovery type stuff. So I always have my Toe Spacers with me, and my Ripple. So you can turn this on to 3 different settings and it vibrates. Great for myofascial release. Obviously, when we're doing tissue stuff, it's not actually breaking up the fascia, but honestly, feels good and just promotes blood flow, so I find it helpful. So Ripple Ball has definitely been a staple for years in my recovery routine. And got to put on my Toe Spacers. I always wonder what people think when I'm just like talking to a camera. They're like, this bitch is crazy. Oh, this girl is crazy. I can't say that on YouTube. Oops. Honestly, I just feel so grateful for what I do, like being able to be out here in the morning during the week. So typically my recovery tools, especially for my recovery days, which I usually do a full body mobility routine just to get that blood flowing, pay attention to stuff that feels tight or that I feel like I need to stretch more, using the it rolls down the hill, Ripple Ball, and then 2 other staple things. I always have a kettlebell with me just for weight and mobility through a full range of motion, but a little bit more intense. And then a block just depending on what I'm doing. I don't think it's absolutely necessary, but again, tailor your recovery days to what your body needs. I'm going to start with a full body routine. My right side gets really I need to pay extra attention to my hips today, so that will be a primary one. And then my freaking ankle has been acting up, so hips and ankle. So let's get to it. Oh my gosh, I forgot I had my keys. So with this, I always start with a myofascial release, so just going in, getting in that tissue. For me, I'm going to start on my right side. My upper glute has been really tight for some reason. My erector, Jesus, has been super tight. My right side gets so tight for some reason as opposed to my left, so just making sure to dig in there. It's going to feel really good. If you're my client, you know how good the lacrosse ball feels when I have you do this. But also, when you are rolling out your upper glute, make sure to avoid your sciatic nerve. So it runs down the spine into the side. Make sure you don't hit that because that can also aggravate down your leg. So I did just have a new training split though, so that's probably why. And then I did have a massage 2 weeks ago, a week ago. So, oh my gosh, my left side hurts too. Oh, oh my god, you guys. Gee, my whole body hurts. But oh my god, my quads are always oh, super. I was also gonna make a video on posture and neck because I feel like a lot of people don't strengthen that or know what to do. Oh my god. Sorry, my quad. People, oh my gosh. Please start trying to roll out your lats. It will help you feel a lot better. So here, just put it literally in your lat, or if you have a broomstick, putting a broomstick in your armpit on the lower area to get your subscap feels terrible in the moment, but it helps so much in the long run. All of you who are on here watching, I just wanted to say I appreciate you. Ha! Summer. So, ow, ow, ow. There's so much grass on my hands. Usually the first thing I do is start with myofascial release, so just getting into the muscles that feel sore, and then from there I go into a full body mobility routine. Today I'm going to just do a quick full body, especially the stuff that is really bothering me. Again, like I said, my right side. So there's so much grass. It's fine. I'm going to start with pigeon to thoracic extension. I will be doing a mix of dynamic and static stretching probably for this. So just a heads up. I like to start with pigeon just because it does help me stretch my glute, which is also tight right now. So here, and then I do use this as a warm up. If you're my client, you know, here to up. And then same with the other side. So here, oh my gosh, I'm literally cracking. So here, down, thoracic rotation up. Sometimes I like to go all the way through and then up if I wanted to get more of a stretch. Right now I want to keep it a little bit shorter range of motion, so here and then up and through. All right, I like to be here to lunge. So lunge, make sure your toe spacers don't fall off. So lunge, really push and try and get as much range of motion in that ankle as you can. If you're feeling limited, you can put your hand here, create space between your foot and or the top of your foot and your leg, push through, and then drive back. So here, again, this is my bad ankle too. If you guys are new here, hi. I had ankle surgery like a year and a half ago, got plate and screws put in my ankle. Super fun. Highly recommend not having to do that. It was not gym related. My friend accidentally pushed me into a ditch that was 4.5 feet deep during paintball, and I broke 3 bones and got a plate and screws put in my foot, and I also dislocated my ankle. So that was fun. This one, you'll see a lot greater range of motion in my ankle. And then this one, we are doing shoulder mobility. So I'm going to angle this way just so you can see. I did post this on my Instagram the other day. So if you want to look, I genuinely love this move here. Coming down, sliding to the side. This may take a little bit of time to warm up to. So if you need, start here and then go. If that's all you can do, that's fine. Just work up to where you are comfortable. And if you're super flexible, like can get down here, great. I even feel that a stretch in my pec and bicep. So just be aware of that. We're just going to do a modified one. So I'm going to do child's pose to downward dog. I'm going to face this way though. Downward dog. This is also a really great stretch. If you push your pinky into the ground and get a lat stretch, push lats into the ground here. push your heels as deep as you can into the floor. So here, and then back down here. To be showing you some hip mobility. So with this, we are going to start. It's a good look. For this, we are going to start with our hips. So this grass is really wet. I didn't expect it to be as wet as it is, but that's fine. Whatever. So with hip mobility, I like to start. We're starting with hip mobility now. We are going to go internal, external, then 90-90 switchbacks, and then 90-90 to hip up. So what that is going to look like is you're just going to try and lift your hip up as high as you can, but you need to adjust your torso angle to where your hip is. If you can only get here, that's fine. I would rather it there rather than you leaning super far forward. I like to base off of my hand here, up, and then down. So here, base up, down. But notice how I'm not shifting forward with my torso. I'm here working on just that internal rotation. All right, so external rotation is going to be lifting up from the knee, pushing into that ankle, and keeping that foot on the ground. We don't want to lift our foot up. We want here, just externally rotating as far as you can, and then driving down. So here, externally rotate, and then down. Go to hip 90-90 switches. So what those are going to look like is you're going to have your knees in front of you. You're going to want to pick up with one leg, rotate across. Now, with this, I'm not scooting back. I am trying to have my hips stacked under my shoulders for this. If you're a beginner, you can use your hands because hips will probably be a little bit tight, but try not to use my hands if you're more advanced, intermediate to advanced. Here, up and over, here, and then down. Try not to move your butt or adjust with your hips, if that makes sense. So I'm literally coming up here, up and around, and then coming down over here. So super easy, super simple here, up and around. I really like these for warm-ups and obviously recovery, but if you are having trouble in the middle of your squats or squat depth is just not happening, doing these and obviously some ankle stuff, I'm gonna go into ankle switches with a hip up. So this hip up just helps us draw. I want strong hips, so hips up here, coming back down 90-90 here, hip up. So hip up, down, cross. Another one of my favorite weighted mobility for the hips is it is a 3-way external rotation. So the first one is I'm going to have this here. You can either have it on your knee, whichever is comfortable. I like it hanging here because I feel it better. So in the front here, we're going to come out to the side a little bit, feel it, and then out to the side. This is where I'm weakest, so this is where I like to be, easing into it. So gently adjust and then lean into it. You can even put the kettlebell down and just lean and then drop and then back. So here, lean into it and then up and then lean. It's definitely by far one of my favorite ones, especially if you are having a really tight groin area or adductor. These are really great to do along with strengthening your adductors. And then I want to show you some ankle mobility. If you're outdoors, we make shit work. Obviously, this is not probably the ideal setup, but with ankle mobility or ankle distraction, or just we're creating space in between the ankle and the femur, you ideally want where the band is tied lower than where your ankle is. So ideally, if you could be up here on a bench or something on a box, that would be ideal. But obviously I'm out in a park, which I wanted to be out in nature, so that's why. But here, same thing, but you want a really good stretch. You want that pulling you almost through. I like to hold for 10 seconds here, hold, pull, and then release. It may not feel super comfortable, and of course, like, If you are straight out of surgery, I would probably not recommend doing this. Make sure you get it approved, but this is just what helps me. Or if you don't have surgery, like, you should be fine. And then back, make sure this band is far enough down. I see a lot of people with it on their ankle, and that's not going to do anything. You want it to be in between this space. So here, pushing, pushing, pushing aggressively, not aggressively, but pushing to where it makes a difference. You should be fighting that band. So here, should feel that separation, trying to just get that knee as far forward as you can too, and then back. One of my other favorite movements that I do for ankle mobility is step down. So I'm going to start with my bad ankle. We're going to be here. I like doing this usually on a uneven surface just because it helps a little bit, but here, if you have a bench, this is even better, or like one of those risers. Here, you're gonna hips back, hinge, step down, and then drive up. Step down, ankle mobility, step up. I usually like to do 8 to 10, actually 8 to 12, and then switch legs. Always start with the leg that's worse, because then we want to match that leg with our stronger leg. So another one is single leg calf raises, but I'll show you how I do these. So I do like to hold on to something just for more stability, which is fine, especially with like single leg step ups or single leg step downs. Have a weight, but also, like, if you need stability, use it. Like, I see a lot of coaches being like, oh, try it with no hands. Like, why not engage your glute better, have a little bit more support, and then get more benefit out of it? So for single leg calf raises, start with your weaker leg, but make sure with these we are getting depth. So here, I'm going all the way down and then driving up. So here. All right, so my mic ended up dying, and I didn't realize that until I am editing this video now. But to walk you through this, we are working on hip flexor and calf strength. So building resistance on that band the whole entire time while coming up on the toe of the back leg. And you are making sure to hold that front leg up, building resistance against that band to work that hip flexor. So that is what I am explaining in this video. And you're going to go drive up, drive as high as you can up on the ball of your feet for that back toes, sorry. And then make sure we aren't pulling a lot on that stability thing you're holding on to. In this case, for me, it's a tree. But really try and use that hip flexor. Keep it up high. Don't let that front leg start drooping. Keep it high and flex the whole time. All right, so in the videos I had before, I said I will always finish with some skills and calisthenics that I want to work on. This movement is something I've been trying to work on for a while, since about January, and my shoulders don't like rotating ever since I hurt them. So this movement is definitely something I'm working on. You can see that when I am going towards my right side, for whatever reason, it is a lot harder for me. But hey, that's okay. That's why we work on stuff. But this is why I take my recovery days to do the stuff that I may not want to do a lot, or that I know I need to work on. And if I just set time, not during a workout, before or after, but on a separate day, I'm more likely to do that. So that's why I have these in my recovery days, just because I don't like pairing them with my workouts. But these are definitely a fun move that I cannot wait to master. So hopefully we will get these going and feeling good again in the short term. Here you can see I am struggling with going towards that right side, but hey, that's okay. All right, so these are some fun movements. I am attempting here to go into a handstand, or sorry, rather a headstand from this position. This is definitely one of the movements that I've loved doing recently. I am trying to get a straddle handstand. So this is me attempting to just find that balance point, also working on just upper body strength as well. So just practicing going into these and you can see here, I am trying to get my knees on top of my elbows and ideally in my armpits, but this was pretty good. I fell a couple of times while trying this, obviously, like you saw there. When you try new things, a reminder that it is okay to not be good at what you do at first. I tried multiple times at this. I didn't want to put them all in here, but I'm okay with failing now just because I know it will help me learn and improve. But when you're a beginner and just learning new things, it's okay to suck. It's okay to not be good, but that's all the more rewarding, especially when you do end up getting it. Like, I was so proud that I was able to balance during this exercise, or I guess skills training. So that was really exciting. I've only gotten this like 4 times before, so super exciting, and was able to balance for a lot longer than I have before, just finding that balancing point. And then also when I am towards the end, I end up trying a straddle press and couldn't get up into it. I was definitely able to bounce into it, but just knowing what to work on and work towards in the future, having goals so that end result is so much more satisfying, and then moving on to more advanced movements from there.